Hello, Jenny and Nancy are back with spiritual wellness today. How is everybody? Hope you're doing fine. We've got some beautiful weather going on here. Spiritual wellness is different for, again, I think I preface every wellness dimension with this. It's different for everybody. There's spirituality and then there's religiosity. And they could go hand in hand or they could be completely separate. But it's a search for a higher meaning in life. All right? It's about finding our purpose. What makes you jump out of bed in the morning? But finding your purpose, your value, your meaning in your life with or without organized religion. Being spiritually well means we enjoy participating in activities that are consistent with our beliefs and our values. Spiritual wellness can also enter into the workplace, that you are working in an environment that supports your values and your ethics and your beliefs. A healthy spiritual practice may consist of volunteering, social contributions, belonging to a group, fellowship, optimism, forgiveness, expressions of compassion. Spiritual growth is a lifelong pursuit for many people. It starts in their childhood and it carries them through adulthood. And a lot of people, especially when they approach their golden years, they really find a lot of comfort in spirituality and religion. So, meditation. Meditation can be viewed as a practice that people use to decrease their stress. It can also be a spiritual practice. It can be both. It can be anything you want. Anything that helps you find a center, helps you find balance. Deep breathing. There's a lot of information, great information coming out about deep breathing, diaphragmatic breathing techniques, that we breathe deeply into our belly. Because when we're stressed, we're shoulder up here in the chest breathing, but that's a shallow breath. But that deep belly breath, that cleansing breath, can be very relaxing and centering. Some people will find comfort in praying, singing, chanting. I know the Buddhist faith, they do a lot of meditations and a lot of different chanting. Rituals. There's religious services, there's different rituals, whether they're holidays or spiritual practices. Again, we're blending religion and spirituality. There are community groups, there are faith-based groups. I remember growing up, we've had the Knights of Columbus, the Lions Clubs, great civic organizations that give back to the communities. Do they have a connection to religion or spirituality? That really wasn't the focus. It was what they could do for their community. And it really is about getting to know yourself.
100%.
We change, we evolve. I'm not the same person I was 50 years ago. All right, I'm giving away my age. But allow yourself to learn and grow. And we're brought up in a certain religion or certain spiritual practices, but then we meet people from other religions and other spiritual practices, and going back to asking questions, learning without judgment.
Absolutely. And that plays into your social wellness, your emotional wellness. Spiritual wellness is one of my absolute favorites because it's something that I've been really working on recently. Mental health, emotional health, physical health, things like that. Gotten pretty good at finding a rhythm for those kind of things. But I noticed that my spiritual wellness life was lacking. And the more I have really embraced the idea of creating a spiritually well environment, it feels so good. It just feels good on the soul. Your essence, your spirit, your soul, whatever you call it, your energy. And there are so many different ways to experience these things, and a lot of the examples we've given are religious based or community based, which is typically how spiritual wellness comes across, is some sort of social interaction. But getting to know yourself, that sitting and meditating, whether it's in a group or completely alone, that can be super, super healing in a lot of different ways. Getting together and, you know, creating something with a group of people, dancing, having some sort of like book club where you talk about whether it's a spiritual book or just like a goofy book that people are learning from, and they're growing spiritually from that interaction. So a lot of it is social, a lot of it is intellectual, and it feeds into the spirituality of it all. And it can be religious based or not, like we said, whatever works best for you. And it can be social or independent or some mix of both. You find that sweet spot. You find that balance for what's going to work to improve your spiritual wellness.
It's by developing a spiritual practice, like Jenny was saying, whether you open a spiritual book and you read your devotions in the morning, or you have a meditation practice, or you just go out, you step outside and you look at Mother Nature and you give thanks for, you know, the attitude of gratitude. You give thanks for the day. You look up at the stars at night. It is appreciating our natural world as well. Sometimes a spiritual practice can help you develop more clarity for your life in making everyday choices. And I like to live my life in that manner. If a decision doesn't align with my spiritual beliefs, then it's the wrong decision for me. I'm not going to compromise my ethics and my spiritual beliefs for anything, for anyone. So a spiritual practice can also lead to help you develop a sense of peace. It can help you through those really difficult times. You know, maybe somebody you care and love passes away. We're always wondering, like, where do we go? What happens to this vessel and our soul? So talking with people, again, asking questions and learning from other people can be very healing. Some people have said, some studies have said that the role of spirituality helps regarding pain, that it helps when somebody's in pain. It's our ability to enjoy life. Even though we're in pain, a spiritual practice can help us enjoy our life as well. And sometimes, like Jenny had mentioned earlier, it's belonging to a group or an organization, or you're on a solo journey. And sometimes it's a combination of both.
I think we've covered
Pretty
much everything. So however your spiritual journey is going, whether you're just starting, whether you are 20 years in, whether you are, 6 months in, whatever it may be.
Constantly evolving.
Yes. Make sure, like Nancy was mentioning, that check in with yourself. Does this feel right? Does this feel good?
Yeah.
Because that's really what spiritual wellness is all about, is making sure that it feels right and good and balanced within yourself. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.